Hey, man, you know what it is. It's your boy, Guess Who? You're now tapped into Streetnerdz Radio, the #1 station in the streets right now. Got to give a major shout out to our partners, Bright Future Media, Bright Everything for the full episodes. Also, No Rats Clothing for the merch. They dropping some new shit, so y'all ain't gonna have to see me wear this no more. But I'm gonna keep wearing local shit.
Hell yeah.
Before we start, I want to go ahead and say we are not responsible for any words or actions said on this podcast because clearly people are gonna take it another way. We got a special guest in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
What's up, man? Multimedia, Brenton. I appreciate you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Let's just say you been doing your shit in the city for a long time. This week has been a hard week for us. Yeah. This has definitely been a hard week for us. I guess people in the city don't like it. What would you equate what's going on right now to? How do you feel about this whole shit going on?
What I usually say is just like, I feel like artists don't really understand a media outlet's perspective, but media outlets don't understand artists' perspective unless you're like really good at both. But I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. It's kind of hard to answer without going off on tangents because it's just like there's so much to go into it. Like what in specific, I suppose, are you?
So I would say let's start off like this. For the people who are living under a rock, where are you from and how'd you grow up?
So originally born in Fort Collins, I lived there. I don't even remember. I lived there for like 3 years. Moved out to like Wyoming and Nevada for like a couple years when I was in like elementary school. And then I moved to the Denver metro area when I was in third grade. So I was like 8, and that was Thornton at that time. Then I moved to Arvada for high school years. Went to Pomona, and then just actually moved out of Denver. I was living here for a couple years, really all over the metro area. How I grew up, I mean, it's a suburb, so it's not like real like treacherous, but I mean, you still see things up there. You know, I grew up on Section 8, so I've been around like plenty of stuff that you would see
anywhere
in the hoods, but not necessarily the gangbanging too much. Every once in a while, maybe you hear about it, but not really. It was mostly just drugs and like shit like that, for real, just struggle type shit, white trash type shit. If I'm gonna be real.
What got Mile High Minute started? What was the drive behind that?
Well, at that time, I was like just selling vintage clothes and stuff, and sometimes I link with rappers. But I went to this show up in Boulder. It was actually at KMG. Back in like end of 2017, 2018-ish, beginning of 2018. I heard my boy Young Fiji, and I was like, damn, he's from here? I was like, he was hard. Like, the show was lit. So after that, I did my research. I was like, oh, we got rappers out here? Like, what's going on? Because growing up, all I'm listening to is the mainstream Futures, Drakes, all that good stuff. So I'm looking him up. I'm like, he's dope. I started doing a little research on the rap scene out here. I'm like, man, this is dope. I'm watching No Jumper, Say Cheese, all the Zach TVs, rest in peace, all the big platforms. I'm like, man, like a light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, damn, I could probably start doing interviews out here, doing something, you know what I'm saying? So then shit just took off. I fell in love with it after that, like it was fun, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just cool listening, getting to hear everyone's stories and tap in, and like I felt like I was feeling like a demand or a niche that like really Colorado needed, you know what I'm saying?